It's ironic that they call it the New York Heat Act, isn't it? As my esteemed, distinguished, and well-respected colleague and ranker on the Energy Committee, Mario Matera, says, we need a plan, not a ban. The New York Heat Act is the opposite of what you would expect a good plan to look like, even if you were on the side of what they're trying to accomplish here. If there's no fuel, there's no heat. And this act requires the PSC to literally cut the gas off for New Yorkers. It also has a 6% cap on energy costs. That sounds great. You know why? New Yorkers have been saying, our energy costs are skyrocketing. My energy bill has gone up. The Empire Center has said 10% of that is because what Democrats in Albany have already passed. That's why your energy is going up. So what is the reaction from those Democrats? They say, well, we blame the PSC and we blame the utilities, and then we ban more gas and take more fuel out of the system, skyrocketing your energy costs, but pointing the finger at everybody else so that we can get our agenda done. Conservatively, the CLCPA is going to cost $340 billion. That's what the comptroller said. And this is why your bill is very important, because we've seen estimates that say this could cost $4 trillion for New Yorkers. But if we just take the conservative estimate that the comptroller has given us, you're talking about over the next 25 years, $177,000 for every man, woman, and child in the state of New York. You're literally talking about a mortgage payment for every individual New Yorker just to pay for their transition here. At the same time, they have legislation that caps the cost for certain individuals that they see as politically expedient. So there's absolutely no way to pay for this plan, at least in the legislation of what they call the HEAT Act. Meanwhile, the Department of Environmental Conservation is banning refrigerants that go in the air source heat pumps, the ductless mini splits that they say are going to solve all of this crisis. And this legislation literally requires that reliable energy services be consistent and not be dismantled. Well, at the same time, DEC is banning some of that technology. Reliability and safety are incredibly important. That's what natural gas provides New York residents right now. We saw this in the Buffalo blizzard. What does it look like when the heat goes out for people? And I know the deaths were absolutely tragic. The story that doesn't get told as much is how many lives were saved by people having access to safe, reliable natural gas to continue to heat their home in the worst circumstances in Buffalo, New York. Lives saved. This bill creates a new precedent. They love to blame the Public Service Commission. I mentioned that earlier. 4 years and 8 months from right now, this law requires the Public Service Commission to start shutting the gas off for communities in New York State. 4 years and 8 months from now, in the dead of winter, the Public Service Commission will be required to shut gas off for New York State's residents against their will. And they will point the finger at the PSC once again. One last thing that I want to do, and I appreciate the fourth branch of government, our press, being here today, before I turn it over to our expert here, is I'm just going to read a list of names because this is the sponsor and the co-sponsors of this legislation. When you bump into them in the hall, I would like to ask you what do you heat your home with, and will you shut it off first? Their names are Kruger, May, Fahey, Adabo, Brisbort, Brook, Clear, Comrie, Cooney, Fernandez, Gianaris, Gonzalez, Gennardis, Harcum, Hinchy, Hoyleman, Siegel, Jackson, Kavanaugh, Liu, Martinez, Mayer, Myrie, Ramos, Rivera, Salazar, Sanders, Sepulveda, Sereno, Stavisky, and Webb. When you bump into them in the hallway, ask them if they'll be the first to shut the gas off in their home.